As I am so excited to be here at this level up event today. I am Amy Weaver, and I am here with two powerhouse women that I've had the pleasure to get to know a little bit better, and definitely looking forward to getting to know you guys more in the future. Hopefully, you'll be at EXPCon in a few weeks, and we can meet up there. So that's coming up in a few weeks. So we have with us today Jonah Weber.
You're good.
Donna Weber. She said it yesterday. It's like Donna, but Jonna with a J. So Jonna Weber, and we also have Allison Gaddy. So welcome, guys. We are so excited to have you here today.
Thank you. What a great event yesterday so far.
I
Excited to dig
know.
in today.
I know. I got a lot of nuggets. Did you guys get a lot of nuggets from yesterday? I had a whole remarkable full of notes. We just talked about the remarkable too, in case anybody doesn't know about that. Dave Kennord should be the spokesperson. Yep, you gotta. There's a visual. There.
Oh
You sold
man,
it
I
to
know
both
I'm
of us.
old school. I'm gonna get on it.
Yep. So just a few bullet points about each of these ladies. Jonna Weber is a mom and she was a teacher. She and her husband are investors, and that's how she got started in real estate. They had a few rental properties, and then she got her real estate license in 2013, as did I. So she joined EXP in May of 2019. So she's been with us for 2+ years and runs a standard team. She's a team leader for a standard team in Boise, Idaho. So that is Jonna. And then we have Allison Gaddy, and Allison is one of our true OGs at EXP, agent number 641, joined us at EXP in 2015. So some accolades about Allison. She is a top 10 agent to watch, and she was named as a top 10 agent to watch in 2021 by Business Insider. She is a top 20 Austin real estate agent on social media. You guys have probably seen her on social media quite a bit. And then Forbes magazine featured her as one of the top female entrepreneurs. So that is a little bit about these two gals that we're going to get to know a little bit better today, and learn how they attracted large organization groups to their group. So that's what we're going to dig into today and talk to these two gals. So I'm going to start with Jonna. Jonna, you are with us today. You call our attention because you were able to attract Liz and Andressa, who are the founders of InvestHer. So I asked you a little bit about that yesterday in our pre-interview, and I just loved your answer of how you're in the baby steps. But how did you make that connection with them? Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, thanks for asking. Yes, I am. I mean, all disclaimer, we are in the baby steps of growing this large organization with a wonderful organization that we've lined up with, the InvestHer. And it happens super organically. So I don't want to say I've like a structure lead funnel and this happened and we did the 17 steps and they came on board. It was more of a slow process of nurturing a relationship for several years, way before I had even thought about joining eXp Realty. So these are friends of mine and people that we were in a mastermind group together for 6 years. So we had that relationship, and it's so interesting. A lesson is to never close a door, because we ended our mastermind as a formal group in January. And we just, were supporting each other, but never had any thought of being in business together. But a little bit later, this last spring, when Brazil opened up for EXP, I thought of my friend Andressa, who is Brazilian. And that's where she grew up. And so I just pinged her. I actually just sent her a text and said something to the line of like, do you know any agents in Brazil? Guess what? Exciting news. EXP is opening up there. And she's like, you know what? We need to talk. And so we just started a line of conversation. It took about 3 months before we really got all of our ducks in a row and aligned and figured out our direction, how we could align together. But the long answer to it, a short way of saying it, is that it was organic and it just was natural, and we just played on those relationships, and sometimes things just align.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about that group. We're actually going to interview them tomorrow, so I'm excited about that. I'm excited for everybody to get to see who they are and what they've been able to do. So, but tell us a little bit about that group.
Liz and Andressa are going to be such assets to any EXP agent out there, a female agent that's interested in investing. That's what they're about. Their whole reason for existing is to help female entrepreneurs, investors learn how to reach financial independence and balance whatever balance looks for them in their life. It's a group of dynamic women from all over the country, soon and starting to be international. And most of the women are juggling it all. They're the moms. They have side careers. They are highly educated, or they're not, but they've got a common interest in investing. And a lot, as you can imagine, a lot of those investors hold real estate licenses. So it's a wonderful opportunity to create relationships with their audience and have them be able to provide a platform in which they can enrich investors' lives through the EXP platform as well.
That's awesome. And you said there's about 8,600 of investors that they're
Last I
affiliated
checked, it's about that count. You ask them, plus or
with.
minus on their, they've got a dynamic Facebook community called the Real Estate Invest Her, and they've got a high performing podcast platform as well. And it's hosted by the Bigger Pockets platform this year. So it's really a great opportunity to get the word out about EXP and provide that education that they're passionate about.
Very awesome. So you partnered with them. They're with us now at EXP. How do you plan to leverage them at EXP with our model? What's your plan behind that as far as like getting to those agents that that they're connected with?
Well, our goal is just to create, I mean, we're all about what's best for the agent. And we know, I know, you know, here at this model, there's nothing like it. And so it's a unique opportunity. So just sharing that we have this available. And if they're considering EXP Realty, why not join the investor team, which is this community they're already invested in? And we are providing opportunities for them to connect with me, with agents to connect with me and find out about the model and just join us. But what we're really building is a sense of community beyond just, onboard onto the brokerage. The brokerage is amazing in itself, but we're creating a sense of community. I heard it echoed yesterday. I love that people don't want to join a brokerage, right? They want to join a community. And so they already have that in play. And so we're creating a group of rock star women. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, so it just makes sense, right? So they're already in the community and you guys are developing relationships. So it's just a natural path. So I love that.
It provides the framework, the umbrella for them to all to stay connected as an agent community, which is so cool.
I absolutely love that. So one of my last questions to you, and then we'll circle back around. But you said you were able to double your business in the last 12 months. Is that right?
The first 12 months after I came over to EXP Realty.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think the catalyst was for that?
You know what? We talk about community and we talk about, camaraderie and who we are associating with, and really jumping over to a community. I was with a great independent brokerage prior to this, doing my thing.
Yeah.
We were all kind of just doing the same thing though. But then once I got involved with EXP Realty and identified leaders out there that were just thinking exponentially, not incrementally. I heard Glenn say that recently, but exponentially and leveling up my thinking, that was huge. And it just kind of spiraled. I can't point to one thing other than association and learning from other key leaders throughout the country through this great brokerage model.
I love that. We have some great people to be in relationship with here at EXP. And if you can leverage that and see what they're doing and model that, then it's a winning recipe, right?
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Allison, it is your turn. First of all, I want to know, like back in 2015, when we were just an infant of a company, how did you see the vision of Glenn Sanford and what he had in mind for EXP? Like, what was the thing that you're like, yes, I want to join?
That's a fun question. I've always been an entrepreneur. I've always looked for, I like what you guys were saying. If you're the smartest person in the room, you need to find a new room, right? And if you, and I really was attracted to the stock. The stock really, I knew I didn't have stock at the company I was at, and I reminded someone when I told them I was leaving that it's my business, and I didn't believe my business would be affected by making this change and taking the risk at that time that this company would make it or not. I mean, that's how I was thinking. I mean, I had no idea that fast forward, 6 years later that we would look like this. I certainly hoped. But the stock and having the ownership, and then the ability to build a real estate company, because I have always been that visionary to build companies, to build organizations, to build a community. And that was exciting to me. So being able to not upset my current business, own stock in something bigger than myself, and to grow an organization. I mean, I saw that, and I'm just glad that it worked.
Yeah. Well, kudos to you for seeing that and for being that entrepreneur, and you've made such a huge difference at EXP yourself. So congratulations on all that. So why you're here today is because you're going to tell us about your large group organization experience and what you've been able to do with that. So I'm just going to give you the floor and let you talk about that and how you were able to attract an amazing large group. So tell us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So John and Arlene Shin have just joined us from the Think and Grow Rich organization, and they are just absolutely amazing. They really understand the power of leveraging residual income and offering their already large organization of about 500,000. Their database is 500,000. So we're just getting in right now to the nitty gritty of exactly how we're going to build their audience to give back, to have a bigger offering to the audience that they have. They actually own the rights to the Think and Grow Rich movie. And so John does a premiere of that movie each month. And then he will have a special guest and really talk about thinking bigger, leveling up, right? He's just a great presenter at that. And they, I mean, they're really just, it's so aligned with EXP because they're just aligned with helping people get more income through serving their community. And so we're right out of the gate. We just welcomed them into the company, and really excited about that.
Well, how exciting for you guys. And so obviously they're busy doing what they do. So what's the master plan for you leveraging that piece for them on how to grow?
That's a great question. And we talked a lot about that. And so I do remind them, they had thought about, they're in the financial services industry now, and now they're with EXP. And John and Arlene both had talked about building a real estate company. And of course, they're very busy in what they currently do. And so they never did. And when they saw the opportunity to leverage EXP as the company and build another organization, and then not take more onto their plate. So our strategy is to have them do their movie premiere probably next month and attract agents. And then Nicole Russo, my sponsor, who's also famous for being Gene Frederick's daughter, she and I will do breakouts depending on whether they're a brand new agent, whether they're an experienced agent, or thinking about getting into real estate. So we've talked about separating those groups. So we're talking to the right audience because the message is very different. And then having a plan for a breakout Q&A, and really then, working with them individually. But I would also say, our onboarding department is incredible, and just being able to deal with that, the volume of people interested has been a really fun challenge to talk through. And I think we're right. And that's one of the concerns, right? What is this going to cost me in time? What do I have to invest in time? So that's really where we are.
That's awesome. And there's a second group that you've been in conversation with. So tell us just a little bit about that, and what your plans are for that group and how.
Yeah, absolutely. So John and Arlene are a direct contact of Don and mine. And then the other group, I would say one of the things for people thinking about attracting large organizations is really, Jonah had said, she called her friend in Brazil, who do you know that's looking to be in real estate? And I think really the mindset of, we are growing a real estate company. So many people see themselves as real estate agents, and we are. But when you ask that question, who do you know in real estate? I'm growing a real estate company. It shifts their thinking, right? Because then you become the owner, you become the person that they think bigger. So asking those questions and helping your team learn to ask those questions. And so working through another leader in our organization, we have that contact. And I think he actually he's spoken at this event, and he's amazing. And so they're a large investor group. And so we've talked about attending to let them know they've aligned with a real estate company, that they're offering breakout sessions so that they can learn about what they're doing, and not being a part of their main stage, so that they don't turn off any people in the audience who might not be interested. So that's something that I've been very vocal about, protecting that audience so that we can truly leverage.
Yeah, I love that. So you said that you spoke with someone who has attracted a large group organization that kind of helped you with questions that you have. And was it Chris? Is it the Fortune
Chris
Builders?
Widener. Chris Widener. Yep.
Oh,
He's the
okay.
one that. Uh-huh.
Awesome. Yes. So yeah, they were on here yesterday. I think was Sean Murphy. So that's what we need to remember. We don't have to go at this alone, right? Like there's always people that are willing to help along the way and who have experienced some pain points and that they're willing to answer questions for you guys to make it easier. So I think each of you said it took a little while. How long did you say it took, Jonna, to get your group like on board with really believing in the EXP model and seeing how they could use it with their what they were planning to do as far as like an investor went and all the women that they want to empower?
The getting on board mentally was the easy part, really. The team, the onboarding team at the time with Dave was really amazing. Just the red carpet they rolled out and taking time to be on those Zoom calls with us and laying out strategy was huge. And I was just so impressed as an agent that had not attracted a large team, their willingness to just jump in and make this work, as well as my sponsors, Tim and Julie Harris, have been wonderful throughout the process. And we got on a Zoom call. So the willingness and the recognizing that this was going to be a thing was there almost immediately, but it was the rolling it out and how does this process lay out and how does this work? And like I mentioned, we are still a very small team in process. Like we literally just have been rolling this out over the summer. And so I'm learning along with all of you. And I hope that encourages someone out there that has someone they know that's an influencer, that just open their mouth and follow that nudge, because you never know what's going on in their life. And when those things may intersect with EXP Realty, never assume that they have no interest. Open our mouth when we have that thought that we should connect, because you may be the right person at the right time that helps their business.
I love that. Yeah. What about you, Allison? Were your people right on board right away? They saw the vision immediately, or did you have to talk to them a little while and help them to get to that point?
With John and Arlene, it was fairly easy to get them to really see, because that's what they do in their financial services business, and talking through the logistics and helping them get to know EXP, and not so much as speaking real estate. It's just the process of attracting agents. We've been in conversation with them and talking about where we start and how we do those breakouts for probably 6 months now. And I think that's another thing I would say is these conversations, really when you're attracting an organization, they're going to talk to multiple people, and there's so many leaders and hearts that are willing to give in EXP, and we're so lucky to be in business with this amazing organization of people that it's really important to hear what they need, ask a lot of questions once they get the vision, and plug them into the next person. I mean, really at that point, you're just really where are their holes, what are they concerned about, and who's dealt with that already. Set up the call, introduce, and then it just grows organically. So
that's awesome. I love that. So what do you guys see? What do you think your results are going to be from this? Have you thought about that? Do you have any goals around it, or it's just whatever happens?
Well, I'll jump in. We are learning so much along the way because we are national. I'm learning more than I ever thought I would know about, like Florida laws and Texas laws and New Jersey and Pennsylvania and so forth. We're in 8 states so far. So when I'm learning, I think, and I heard Fortune Builders kind of talk on this yesterday, the idea of like really identifying key leaders in different areas geographically, I think is more important to us than we realized at the time, to provide that on the ground, like, yeah, I'm an experienced agent. I know the state law. This is what we need to do. And this is the onboarding process. So I can't, I'm totally digressing from the question, I think.
No, that's fine. No, I love that you said that, because that's important to have a plan and to have those key people for each area. I actually really love that. So
we're learning to have focused areas where we have a high concentration of, in our case, it's the investor community, and tapping into that and really creating pods of community that really support one another and therefore help that staying power and that sense of belonging for those agents.
I love that. I think the original question was like, what results do you expect to get from having
Yes.
such a powerful, large organization? And I guess that's probably hard to kind of pinpoint.
Well, in
But
our dream, I guess that's where I was going. We'll kind of, in a roundabout way, what I was getting at is that we expect to have wonderful agents in all 50 states and across the countries that EXP represents.
love it. Yeah. What about you, Allison? Same?
Well, John and Arlene Shin have 10,000 people in their organization, and I think we can accomplish that here at EXP. So I will just put that out. And I really, one of the things that I've always talked about is, I heard someone say long ago, you can't buy your way into this company, you can build your way in. And if you think about what we're building, we're all building a large virtual region, if you will. If you think about traditional, right, it sometimes helps people ground in what are we building. We're building a real estate company. We have a virtual region. And so much like you guys were talking about, getting key team leaders in place, right? Because we're going to start to attract, and nobody can do that alone, right? So we do these presentation, our strategy, he's already got 2 leaders in place to, help leverage, learn through us and grow. So you've got essentially your I don't want to say market centers. I'll say market centers anyway. You've got your market centers and your team leaders, right? I mean, it's no different than traditional real estate, and that's how I think and help people to really understand the importance of that role, right? So you can call them generals, you can call them team leaders. Having that strategy to have those people in place so that we can really launch and serve these agents as they come in and they get interested in the best way possible through onboarding, getting their questions answered. So we're just out of the gate and on the road to 10,000.
I love it. And so that helps our goal with getting to 100,000, a path to 100,000 quickly. So you guys for helping us with that. So I listened, Jonna sent me a link for her podcast that she was recently interviewed on as a guest on the Real Estate Investor Show. And so if we can pop that into the chat in the world, that would be great. But I'm going to do one of your quotes, and it says, I kept intentionally surrounding myself with those that had gone a lot further than I had and were pushing me. I had real estate agents along the way. I had mentors along the way, top agents that I became friends with. It just gives you a belief like, oh my gosh, if they can do it, I can do it, and I succeed. So I think that's kind of wraps up like what we've all been talking about, having those relationships and being so excited to help the next person get to the same place you are, and sharing and collaborating. And that's what EXP is all about, is that community and those organic relationships and building on that and coming together just to create something really special. I know I feel blessed to be a part of this community now for a short 5 months. And so I love seeing ladies like you just empowering others and giving others strength. So relationships are definitely the foundation of whether you're building one agent at a time, you're bringing one agent on board with you, or you're bringing a whole group of agents with you. It's the same thing, relationships and being organic about it, and genuine, right? Genuine care for that person. So I know that's how you two ladies are. I felt it when we met yesterday. So I'm excited that you are here helping our company just to be better. So I'm going to close with ask you guys one last question. What is your best advice for agents that are listening to us right now that want to bring on a large organization like you guys did? Do you have one key piece of advice?
Allison, you want to start?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll jump in. I think it's no different than attracting an individual. Really look at their business. When you're attracting a large organization, likely they're not out there looking for a side gig or a hobby. They are looking to absolutely grow their business and what they're focused on currently in a very exponential way. And they're already doing that successfully where they are. So asking a lot of key questions, really, again, understanding what's important to them, and attracting an individual agent, it's not pitching the opportunity to grow revenue share. They don't know what that is, and they're successful where they are. So knowing, where can we complement these things and take this to another level and help them see that vision. But you're only going to do that through really asking questions and through building that relationship. So the biggest thing I can say to anybody individually or building an organization is meet them where they are, and don't ever just pitch EXP at people, because it doesn't do any good for anybody.
Oh, amen. Thank you. And I echo what Allison said. And the other thing that comes to mind is just don't ever think of yourself as just a solo agent out there, especially as agents. We can be islands out there just on our own, but leverage the community, leverage what we have. It's not just yourself sharing about, how this might help them. You're aligned with 65,000 agents out there that are there and in your corner, and incredible leadership at eXp Realty. Leverage them, bring them in, whether it's virtually, whether it's sharing videos, whether it's tapping them into a 3-way call. Do not feel like you have to do all the heavy lifting yourself. Leverage those relationships and tap into the leaders in your organization, and of course at the corporate level.
Yes, please use us too. We love to be involved and roll out that red carpet, the way Jonna said that we rolled the red carpet out for InvestHer. We absolutely want to be a part of it and make it a very smooth and exciting transition for them, or opportunity for them. So somebody said, Luke Rivers in the YouTube, I don't know if you guys can see that. You can do anything you set your mind to with eXp. The sky's the limit, and you've got 65,000 agents here supporting you. So it's so true. Don't go out it alone. I think that's one of the messages here as well. Like use your upline, use whomever. It doesn't have to be in your upline. Whoever it is that has been where you are, or that's willing to step in and help. And there are a ton of us that are willing to do that. And definitely use the leadership group here too for us. We've got myself, and we've got Sean Murphy, and Ashley Galladay is a rock star with crunching numbers and whatever it is, if you're trying to bring on a large organization or an individual. So I'm going to wrap up here, and I want to thank you guys both for sharing who you are, your wisdom, and your valuable advice. I just appreciate you two so much. Is there a way that if anyone does want to use you guys as a resource to get in touch with you, is there a great way to do that?
Anybody could reach out to me on Workplace at any time. I'm always on there, and absolutely, we love to help. And even if it's just to strategize, if I'm not the next person to talk to, I might be able to help you figure out who that might be. And Amy, thank you for the incredible job you've done in your short 5 months. I can't believe that. If you guys are not tapping into Amy and Ashley and Sean, you're missing out. They're an incredible team. And I just want you to know, we really, really appreciate your leadership and everything you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that so much. Yes.
I echo that completely as well. And same as Allison, Workplace is great. Whether it's a real estate referral, or whether it's questions about building a large organization, and jump out and say hi at eXpCon in Las Vegas. Anyone out there too? I'd love to connect with as many people as possible and meet new faces.
Yes, absolutely. I would love that as well. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate again you being here today, and I will see you at eXpCon. Okay.
See you there.
Thank you. Okay, go and grow.
Okay, bye.